We are actually looking at dividing them now. And this goes back a little bit to what we talked about before. It's probably easier to think about taking whole numbers and dividing it by fractions, but we're kind of going to skip this. And you just need to write this down in big, big, bold, beautiful letters on your paper. To divide by a fraction you multiply by its reciprocal. We did a little bit. Not quite in this many words. You could also say, in other words, I a lot of times would just say you flip and multiply by the second fraction. These two things I have written down are one and the same, but this is kind of the generic way. This is the way math people will tell you to do it. This is kind of the New International version of that. And that only helps if you see it kind of written down, and here's our example. If you have 1/3 divided by 1/2. And remember, the question I'm asking you is this. If you have a circle, if you have 1/3 of a circle, how many 1/2s can you get out of 1/3 of a circle? Which doesn't make sense, because if you think about what a half is, yeah, a half goes all the way down here. So you don't get 0, you get a fraction of how many halves you can get. So it's really hard to draw pictures and think about this. That's why it's good to know this, because what I just said was this. To divide by a fraction, it's the same exact thing as taking that second fraction and multiplying by its reciprocal. You take the second fraction, flip it over, and multiply, and that will be your answer. 1 times 2, right. There is 2/3 of a 1/2 in 1/3. Which, if you think about it, your mind gets a little crazy, but you don't have to think a lot about it because you have the formula. Okay, take it for what it's worth. So when you're given a problem like this, let's say you've got 2/3 divided by 3/4. Okay, that's the problem out of the book. You need to write that down. I don't want you to see you skipping any steps. You're going to write the problem exactly as it appears there. Then your next step is you're going to rewrite, keep the first fraction the same, change the fraction, this division to multiplication, and then flip over that fraction. Flip by the second. Do not flip the first one. If you come to the problems and you have the exact opposite of what I read, like I'll read the fraction 2/3 and you have 3/2 or something like that, that's because you're flipping the wrong fraction. It's always the second one that gets flipped, and then you just multiply across. You get 8/9. How many 3/4 can you take out of a 2/3? You get 8/9 of 1. Which again, if you can think about that and come up with that answer in your head, you're a better mathematician than I. How about this one? 10 divided by 5/6. 10 divided by 5/6. Okay, what's that going to change to, Jack?
10 times 5/6.
No, 10 times 6/5.
Yes.
And you make 10 a fraction by putting it over 1. Multiply it out, you get 60/5. And then you have to change, you can't leave them as improper, so you're gonna have to do the division. How many times does 5 go into 60? Looks like 12. Now this one we probably could have done it out. You're starting with 10 things. And you're cutting it into 6 pieces each, so it looks something like this. It's gonna take a long time to do. And I wanna know how many 5, 6 I can take out of there. Well, it would look like this. So every 5 of them, I get 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1 I can take out. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 5, 6 I took out. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 5, 6 I took out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6 I took out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6 I took out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, another 5, 6 I took out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6. Whoops, I missed that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many times could I take 5, 6 out of 10? 12. You really don't want to do it like this because then it gets a little awkward after a while. So, that is it, kids. You will be dividing fractions for a very, very long time, so it's good that you get practice with it and take a look at your